From the news department of the Liberia Broadcasting System in Phoenixville, this is Newsline. One full hour of news, views, counter views, comments, background reports, and in-depth analysis. Issues all about Liberia and the rest of the world. Today is Friday, July 12th, 2024. My name is Alfred Rogers. Top stories this afternoon: Deputy Information Minister for Technical Services Daniel Sando urges Liberians to depoliticize arrival of earth-moving equipment into the country.
When the time comes for politics, we roll our sleeves. But that's really work now.
Liberia Health Products Regulatory Authority expresses serious concern over proliferation of fake health products. When Cape Mount County chapter of Federation of Liberian Youth calls for tight border surveillance to curb influx of drugs between Liberia and Sierra Leone. In Niger, authorities declared curfew in the volatile Telebari region after several prisoners escaped from heavily fortified jail known to hold jihadists. Also coming up is a commentary titled "The Launch of the National Agricultural Development Plan, a Call for Action." Details of these interesting stories, Newsline Sports, the news in French, and more, all coming up on the program this afternoon. First, there's Vasta Talu and the news bulletin.
Good afternoon, everyone. Deputy Information Minister for Technical Services Daniel Sano wants Liberians depoliticize the arrival of the earth-moving equipment in the country. Minister Sano said the machines are intended to ensure good road connectivity to lessen the burdens faced by citizens who are commuting major road corridors. He also assured that government remains firm in delivering basic social services to citizens and will do nothing to contravene the law of the country.
As a country, we have to be optimistic than negativity. When the time comes for politics, we roll our sleeves. But that's really work now. And they have to give democracy a chance because democracy is about the people. The president is working to meet the demands of the people.
Minister Sano disclosed the negotiation, ratification, and deployment of the machines by the executive and legislature will save government over $22 million. The Deputy Information Minister for Technical Services spoke Friday on Elbc Super Morning Show. The Liberia Health Products Regulatory Authority has alarmed that the country faces essential health threats due to the proliferation of fake health products. LMHRA Managing Director Dr. Luke Bower said 45% of health products currently in circulation in the country is either fake or substandard. He said the situation is gradually moving the country from disease threats to threats of health complications caused by consumption of fake and substandard products. Dr. Bao spoke Friday in Monrovia at a day-long engagement with senior news editors from both print and electronic media. He disclosed testing of health commodities in the country is still at 20%, placing doubt on the standard and efficiency of health products currently in circulation in the country. The Grand Cape Mount County chapter of the Federation of Liberian Youth FLA has called for tight border surveillance system between Liberia and Sierra Leone to curb the influx of drugs into Liberia. FLA Grand Cape Mount County Coordinator Lorenzo Casio wants government to deploy more AFL officers at the Bowater Side checkpoint to complement the joint security efforts. Mr. Casio told our correspondent Thursday the influx of narcotic substances in Western Liberia is alarming and stressed the need for government to be robust in its fight against the menace. Recently, the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency arrested a Sierra Leonean officer and 50-year-old Sierra Leonean woman with huge quantity of narcotic drugs along the Liberia-Sierra Leone route. Meanwhile, Mr. Castle wants government provide the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency the necessary logistical support to enhance the operations of the entity. Local authorities in Lower Margibi County have launched an investigation into the disappearance of 150 LEC meters in the area. The Liberia Electricity Corporation in March this year installed several meters on houses in Tolo Town and its environs. According to our correspondent, the situation has deprived hundreds of citizens from getting electricity in their homes. Our correspondent said citizens or residents of the area have accused workers of the LEC of masterminding the situation. Meanwhile, LEC supervisor in the area, only identified as Emmett, has confirmed ongoing investigation into the matter. The new president of the Greater Monrovia Lions Club, Councillor Bobby Livingstone, has vowed to transform the institution through tangible programs and projects. Councillor Livingstone said his administration will ensure that the institution's theme, Service with Impact, be implemented through impactful services to communities. According to him, his team will vigorously engage in the recruitment of innovative members for the betterment of the institution. Councillor Livingstone made the assurance recently when he and 4 others were officially inducted to serve the Greater Monrovia Lions Club. Lions International is an organization that caters to the blind and less fortunate, with a membership of over 1.4 million people worldwide. The Civil Service Agency has begun head count of government employees in Grand Juda County. The process is intended to ensure that people on government's payroll are actively government employees. Our correspondent said the process is also intended to ensure people are at the respective area of work regularly. According to our correspondent, civil servants who are on government's payroll are coming from the eight administrative districts and 3 electoral districts in Grand Juda County. The new chairman of the National Arms Commission, James Fomoya, has pledged his administration's commitment to maintaining peace and security in Liberia and the sub-region. Chairman Fomoya promised to work along with requisite development partners, including civil society organizations, to increase public knowledge and to curb the proliferation of illegal small arms, light weapons across the country. He said the commission is committed to embarking on restructuring the capacity and building the exercise to effectively respond to challenges and new demands. Mr. Fomoya, however, vowed to work closely with state security agencies and the Army in identifying and addressing key capacity gap to proper manage arms in the country. He spoke recently when he officially assumed the mantle of authority as chairman of the National Arms Commission. President Joseph Boakai has called for a comprehensive and coordinated approach in tackling the fight against tuberculosis, HIV, and malaria in the country. The president believes through coordinated approach, the GC7 grant will enhance the prevention, diagnosis, and treatment efforts for the 3 diseases. He said government will also implement innovative strategies to reach key populations, reduce stigma and discrimination, and promote community engagement and ownership of health initiatives. President Boakai said his administration will prioritize innovations to ensuring every child born in Liberia has the opportunity to grow up healthy and HIV-free. The Liberian leader also pledged to strengthen the capacity of diagnostic centers to ensure all individuals with TB are identified and treated. The head of Global Fund Africa and Middle East, Kati Forsall, says the organization is committed to supporting Liberia in building a sustainable health system in the country. Madam Saul said the Global Fund support to Liberia is key to preparing the country for a potential pandemic. She noted that the organization will also facilitate government's efforts in the fight against HIV, tuberculosis, and malaria.
The Global Fund, therefore, stands strong with Liberia and will continue to support the government's ambition to fight the 3 diseases and build resilient and sustainable systems for health, in addition to preparing for potential pandemics.
The head of Global Fund Africa and Middle East also expressed confidence over the determination of stakeholders in Liberia to ensure the full implementation of the country's health programs and the Global Fund grant. She made the commitment Thursday at the official launch of the Global Fund Grant Cycle 7 in Monrovia. Vice President Jeremiah Cohn says government will use evidence-based research data to address the socio-economic challenges confronting Liberians. Vice President Cohn said such research data will be used to implement government's arrest agenda. The Liberian vice president disclosed the data will take into consideration the rise of women and young people in all sectors to build foundation for a better future.
Are committed to ensuring that the rights of women and girls, our young people, are mainstream across all sectors, providing a foundation for the future. We will also work with the legislature to ensure that the laws and policies we pass reflect our national priorities and are inclusive of all people, particularly the elderly and people with disabilities.
Vice President Cohn said he will work along with the legislature to ensure the laws and policies passed include the elderly and people living with disabilities, among others. The vice president spoke Thursday in Congo Town at the launch of the 2024 State of the World Population Report by government and UNFPA. And Liberia Agriculture Commodity Regulatory Authority Director General Christopher Sangolo is proposing a strong policy measure to protect the country's forests. Mr. Sangolo said this is critical to preserve Liberia's forests from deforestation and human activities in the wake of climate change. He was speaking Thursday in Monrovia at a one-day public stakeholders engagement on the EU deforestation regulations, EUDR.
EUDR or not, we should consider it as a laborious project to save our forests and save ourselves and save our children.
The engagement is part of efforts to ensure Liberian producers, meat, cocoa, coffee, and palm oil are in compliance with international business regulations. Under the EUDR, certain products or agricultural commodities exported to European markets will have to meet new rules relating to land, ensuring the forests are not cut down.
Fasta Talu and the news bulletin. She returns a little later. That's when you listen to the foreign news. This is Newsline on State Radio. One of the big stories we're following: Liberia Health Products Regulatory Authority expresses serious concern over proliferation of fake health products. To this one now, Liberians have been urged to depoliticize the arrival of the earth-moving equipment in the country. Deputy Information Minister for Technical Services Daniel Sando wants citizens put aside politics and support government to ensure sustainable development. Mr. Sando spoke Friday during a roundtable discussion on the Super Money Show.
As a country, we have to be optimistic than negativity.